everyone, you are listening to the Manifesting Straight Talk podcast, and I'm your host, Rachel Chamley. I'm a mindset and manifesting coach from the UK, and I am here to ignite that fire inside of you. If you are a female entrepreneur or change maker, or just a woman that is wanting more from life, then you are in exactly the right place. I am going to give you my no-nonsense, straight-talking advice to manifesting and show you how to take your life to that next level. So if you're ready, dive in now. Hi everyone, welcome to this week's podcast. This week I want to talk to you about really grabbing life by the actual balls. Now, I have been listening to different things this week and I've heard this term of divine timings. Now, this in theta healing means times in your life where there is something big happens. It could be the birth of a child, or it could be that you save a child from drowning and that child goes on to be this big thing. So I see these as critical life moments that you've had, or critical things that have presented a crossroads in your life. So I see these more as divine crossroads. Divine timing to me is more around the way the universe shows up, which I suppose is very, very similar. But this is these divine crossroads. So some life circumstance can trigger these, and you are then faced with a huge choice. It can be something that actually rocks your whole world, and you have a way of moving forward. Now, I've had many of these in my life, and looking at them through the past, I've had to choose at each of these points what I do with that information and how I move forward. One of them being the biggest one was when I lost my brother-in-law, and that was a real shock. That was to suicide, and that shook my whole world and shook my husband's whole world. And at that time, we had a choice. Now, I chose to live. I chose to grab every moment by the balls and enjoy my life. So my husband didn't feel like he could do that. There was too much grief and he couldn't see that way forward. And sometimes we have this choice, and we always have a choice in it. We always have a choice in how we react to certain situations and whatever happens in our life. And sometimes we don't feel like it because we're so overwhelmed by the emotion. But there's always a choice in how we react and how we move forward and how we make this a pivotal moment in our life. And I've actually had some of these crossroads happen to me this actual week. And that's why I've decided to record this podcast in particular, because I was going to do the one on frequencies and how we can change in and out of them. So that one is going to be for next week. But I really wanted to dive into this divine crossroads and divine timing. So when these things happen, they really do trigger a part of us. There is hurt, there is, sometimes feels broken. You can feel like your whole world has turned upside down. And even at that choice, even at that place of darkness, there is that point where you can decide. You decide how you move forward. And I want to talk you through this because it really does have such a huge impact. And sometimes things happen to people and they think it's life. They think, life is awful. I have the worst luck. Everything happens to me. Like, when is this going to stop? When is my bad luck going to finish? And yeah, we can all have that pity party. Sometimes we need the pity party. Sometimes we need to acknowledge our persona and say, yes, this is a load of bollocks and I would like it to stop, please. And even in that action, you are asking for help. So if you add, I would like it to stop, please, why don't you add in, universe, please help me with this. Universe, I surrender to what you are trying to show me. Because the issue is the universe doesn't see the difference between the hurt it's causing, because not to the universe, things are just situations. They are not bad or good. They are situations to turn you in a different direction. So often we miss the learning and the opportunity in these situations because we stay stuck in the pity party. We stay stuck in the place where it's happening to us. How can this be happening again? Oh my God, what have I done to deserve this? I must have the worst karma. I must have been horrible in a past life. All of this stuff. Now, if you are in that place, just give yourself a massive hug and start to think that you can start to change things by thinking differently. We can all start to change things by thinking differently. And I want to give you some tips on how to do that. Now, the first thing for sure is your current circumstance, whatever is happening now, whatever is happening in your life does not define you. It is not you. It is not the whole you. So you need to let go of that. I don't care whether you're at your lowest ebb, whether you are, a long-suffering alcoholic, whether you are, have a really chronic illness, whatever that is, that does not define you. You are not that thing that is happening. You've heard me say this before. You are literally divine. You are made of the stardust. You are made of the same things, that same energy that flows through this whole amazing universe. You and every cell of you is made up of all of that. So I don't want you to think at any point that whichever place you are at, that defines you, because it doesn't. You need to remember who you are. You need to remember that soul inside of you that is made up of this divine energy, and you need to connect into that. And remember, you are the divine and the divine creates. So bring that into your body. You are the divine and the divine creates. So no matter where you are currently, things can change. Things can get better. You do not have to stay in that place. And everything is temporary, and your current situation does not define you. So first of all, just take that in. You are divine, and you can change this circumstance. You can change whatever is happening around you and whatever you see around you. So please remember that as the first one. That is the first rule. The second rule, everything is temporary. Nothing lasts forever. The one constant we have in this universe is change. The universe is changing all the time. It grows, it creates new planets, it creates new organisms. It's absolutely amazing. And you are made up of the same thing, and everything is temporary. So I want you to sink that in. What is happening now is not going to last forever. And you are at this divine crossroads with the chance to change it, the chance to go in whichever direction you want to go. So please take that in. Everything is temporary, and you are the divine creator. Remember that. Next thing, live every single day like it's your last. Whatever rut you are in, whatever feeling you are in now, imagine that you were given a month, 6 weeks to live. Would you be living a different life? Would you be choosing different decisions? Would you be acting in a different way? Would you be looking up at the sky and thinking, how amazing are the clouds? Would you be looking at the sun and the sunset and just taking it all in? Would you be stopping to smell the roses? What would you be doing differently? Would you be quitting that job that you hate and it drags you down and you have a boss that bullies you? What is it that you would be doing that would be different if you were given 6 weeks to live? We are not guaranteed any time on this planet. We are not guaranteed any time in this body. We have every single moment that we live now. That is all we are guaranteed. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know what's going to happen in 6 months. You don't know when the rug is going to pull from under your feet. Literally, and I don't mean this to be depressive, I mean this to get an actual bomb up your ass and start living your goddamn life. I don't want you to think that this is meant to be like, oh my God, this isn't. These crossroads, even if these are not happening to you now, you make it happen. You choose a different choice. This is the thing that the universe tends to do. If we don't move, if we stay on this plateau of feeling crap, feeling low, feeling like we're not fulfilling our purpose, we're not doing our soul's mission, we're not being the person we were here to be, then the universe sends you something to kickstart that to happen. Unfortunately, often that is not something that you want to happen. So the difference is start to live your life every day like it's your last. The universe becomes your mega friend. It brings you miracles every day because it's like, this is the soul that you were born to be. This is exactly what you were meant to be. Like, this is how you get alignment and flow by saying yes to yourself. I recorded that one a few weeks ago. So if you haven't heard that Say Yes to Yourself podcast, go and listen. And also listen to Wendy Harrop's one because that is all about saying yes to yourself. And this is the difference. Once you start to live every single day like it's your last, suddenly miracles unfold in front of you. So if there is a difference, and when I ask you that question, are you living every day now like it's your last? And if you were given 6 weeks to live, would you be making different decisions? If that is a yes, then you need to start doing them now. If you need to make amends with people, if you need to tell them you love them, if you need to do whatever you need to do that you would do in that point, and you would be thinking, well, I'm not happy in this job. I'm going to do whatever makes me happy. I'm going to live out my life's passion. I'm going to do all this other stuff. Then you need to do it. We do not look back at those last moments and think, oh my God, I wish I worked harder for that company. We look back and go, I wish I'd tried. I wish I'd tried that thing I wanted to do. I wish I'd tried that, whatever it is that you want to do, I wish I'd tried it. I just wish I'd had the courage to try it. Well, I'm asking you to have the courage today. Honestly, just grab your life by the balls. The next thing I want to talk to you about is speaking your sacred truth. Especially women, we are bound by this witch wound, which is a collective energy, and it doesn't just affect women, it affects that feminine side of men as well, which they all have, whether they like to admit it or not. But it is really about being scared to show up as your own person, being scared to show up as the true you. Because what happened years ago when people showed up with their magic, when people showed up with their different ways of thinking, when people showed up, connecting with angels, guides, doing all that amazing thing, healing people, they were called witches. They were turned on and they were actually tortured. And that is in our line. That is in the collective, that actually you are meant to fit a normal mold. You are meant to do the normal thing. Otherwise, it can be quite dangerous for us. And that goes right back to pre-witch wound, right back to if you did anything to offend the village, you would be cast out. And if you were cast out, you were vulnerable. And it really does come back to that primal nature inside of us, that if we speak our truth, if we show who we really are, if we show that version of us, we might not fit in. And if we don't fit in, then that will lead to disaster. That will lead to us feeling some form of pain, some form of heartache. Now, none of that is actually true. And even if you are cast out, you will find your tribe. They were not your tribe if you were cast out of anything. So do not be afraid of that, but please speak your truth. I have literally seen one of the strongest women that I know lose the ability to speak this week, and it has shook my whole world. Me who speaks on this podcast and me who wants to speak for a living. And ultimately that is my goal. I've said out loud, I would just love to be a paid speaker. I would love to, use my voice to help change the world. That is literally my whole energy. So seeing that in someone so close to me, someone so inspirational to me, to have that happen is my divine crossroads, is my part to say, own your own voice, use your voice. And I am saying this to all of you, use your voice. Do not hold back. Do not be shushed by anyone. Do not hold off saying what you want to say to whoever you want to say it. You need to say and speak your truth. If you hold back, you might as well be wearing a gag. And how many of you are doing that? How many of you are holding yourself back from saying what you truly need to say? So I beg you on this one. This one is really hitting my heart. Do not hold back. Speak your truth and say what you want to say and become the version of you want to be. So that is a really powerful. And lastly, let go of the bullshit stories. Life is scary. Life is gonna be scary when you grow and expand and evolve. You are gonna have all these fears come up. Even if you were a millionaire and you were talking on stage, you will have so many fears. I'm telling you now, Tony Robbins, Oprah, they're not fearless. They do. It's not like they will not have fears. They will have fears. Whatever level you are at, you will have some form of fear. The thing is, whether you acknowledge the bullshit story that comes along with the fear. Now, the fear will hide in so many different ways. It'll tell you all these different things to stop you speaking your truth, to stop you living your life like it's your last, to tell you everything is going to stay the same and everything isn't temporary. It will tell you that it's going to last forever. It will, it will tell you that this current circumstance defines you. Your fear will tell you all of this stuff, but your fear is a dirty little liar. I said this last week. Your fear brings up stories. Your fear actually disguises itself and tells the biggest lies ever. And this is the one that you really need to let go of. Let go of them bullshit stories because you are divine. Just let that sink in. You are divine. You are equal. You are at one with the universe. You are the universe and the universe creates. You literally would create instantly if you didn't have all of these bullshit stories in the way resisting your manifestations. So let go of the bullshit stories and literally get in alignment with the universe and decide that this is your life to live. You are here for great things. I don't know what they are for you, but we are all here for great things. We are all here at this time, at this moment, to be living an incredible life. So please do not wait for these divine crossroads to show up in your life. Make sure you are living every day now. If you do that, then you will be able to handle anything that comes your way. You literally will be able to handle absolutely anything because you will be at one with the universe and you will be open to these miracles that are coming. You will be in true alignment with who you are meant to be. So please do not wait for the rug to be pulled from under you. Do not wait for one of these heartbreaking crossroads that will come your way if you just sit and sit. The universe knows what you were capable of. You made some promises before you come to this life of things that you were going to do. And if you're not fulfilling them because you are stuck in this cycle of fear and listening to the bullshit stories, the universe will come and do something to get you into that place. So please do something before it gets to that point and live your life. You were born for miracles and magic. If you believe anything else, then you are telling yourself lies and you are listening to the fear. So I truly hope this podcast tonight hasn't, disturbed you in any way. I really hope it has just made you step up and go, I am living my goddamn life. I am living every moment. I am sucking the life out of this and loving every second because you are here for amazing things. Do not let anybody else tell you any different. And do not let those current circumstances define you. Use your voice, live every day, let go of the bullshit. Because whatever's happening now is temporary. It's based on your past manifestations. It isn't based on anything else than that. Some things are just these divine crossroads. It's not that you manifested them. It's that things had to change and adapt in your universe to send you on a different path. So I don't want you to think some of these horrible things that happen to us in life you've manifested. Some things just are in place to make you shift, make you change, make you take a different direction. They're not, I think often people think, oh my God, did I manifest that? Some things the universe just orchestrates to get us in a different place. Unfortunately, those things aren't always the nicest things to deal with, but they make you stronger. Every single one of them will have given you a huge gift. Like I said, this one has given me a gift that I now am not taken for granted. My biggest drive, my biggest passion is to use my voice, to share my voice with the world. And could I have got a bigger message to do that this week? I do not think so. So whatever that is for you, there is always a gift in it, even if it's heartbreaking, even if it hurts. There's always a gift and there's always something to give you that added superpower. So please make sure you are taking that gift and you are using it and enjoy every second. This life is amazing. When you open up to it, when you open up to the miracles, when you open up to the possibilities of being divine, you are here for magic and miracles, and they're all around you. We just need to open our eyes. So have an amazing week. Please let me know if this one resonates with you. Go to the Rachel Chamley Facebook page. All the links are in the bio and the show notes. And if you want any help getting past anything, then book yourself an empowerment tarot reading. And that's a one-on-one session with me. We can go deep and see what's coming up for you and how to clear things out. But really, just live every day. Whatever is happening now does not define you. You are divine. Go and be the magical miracle that you are. I'm Rachel Chamley, and you've been listening to the Manifesting Straight Talk podcast. If you're not already following me on social media, make sure you come and find me on Instagram. I'm at Rachel Chamley, or come and join the Manifesting Straight Talk Facebook group. All my details are in the show notes, so you can catch me there. But I hope you've been left feeling inspired after this podcast. It was so much fun. Join me next time for another episode of Manifesting Straight Talk.